Today we're going to work on this here Umarex. It's the MP45 Smith & Wesson replica. So it's pretty easy. All you need is a hammer or something to hit stuff with, and you need a couple small screwdriver set. Might be helpful if you have that. Whatever you have around the house, nail set will work. Small nail, drill bit, whatever you got. You want to start on the right side. I've got a small light on here, it won't matter. We've got 3 pins we need to take out. I'm going to use this. I like, you can hold it nice. Start on the right side of the gun, tap out the big one, tap out the back one. Got these 2 pins. Come out pretty easy. If they feel like they're tight on yours, use the pliers. Got one more right here from the right side. Tap it. Okay, you're okay. Right now nothing's going to jump out. No springs are going to get lost on you. Next step, you can see it kind of lifts. And we just kind of push on your safety. This safety has a little spring in it, but don't worry. It's not going anywhere. Just have to push it forward and lift, and it'll pop out. So we got to get this safety out. There it goes. Safety's out. Very simple. Now it'll come out. We've got a spring back here that we don't want to get lost. If we open this, you can just take the gun out. Take the frame out, but might be best to get this spring out now so it doesn't get lost. We've got another piece that goes with it. Simply slide out of the frame. Now we've got a spring right here that we do not want to get lost. This is an important piece. Very weird spring that when you get to reassembly, you don't know where this goes. There's a small hole on the right side. You slip in that in, and it sits about right there. So that small spring, just kind of leave it there. Now we've got a spring right here we need to catch. First we'll pull this small piece out the back. This goes along with this spring. This spring sits right here. So that's the last 2 pieces you put back in when you're assembling. Now we got this trigger connected. This spring here, watch that spring. Do not let it go flying. If it does, and you don't know where it goes during reassembly, you have this small spring about the size of a pin spring right here. So we're going to keep these together. Set them aside. Now we've got pretty much one more thing to do here with a spring that we do not want to come out and get lost. This little bar, you can just slide it forward and then slip the spring out and slide the bar out the back. I'm going to keep those together. Now, if you need to go farther, I don't know the proper way to remove this. I've been using a flathead and kind of just get the right side first, and then you gotta kind of hold it up on the rail a little bit and get this front, and it comes out pretty easy. Just slip it off. And if you need to take the front off, you need Phillips right here. Very simple. And we can remove hit the release. And we've got this loose. Now we've got a small screw in here. Don't let that screw get lost. Don't let this spring get lost. That's it. This will come out too. Now if you need to go farther, I don't need to go any farther today, but if you want to work on the valve, you can knock that pin out. Don't let this little silver guy get lost. That's how it's supposed to go. with the flat edge on the back. It's got a pointy side on the other end that points down. So we do not want to lose that. And I've tightened, I straightened out my hammer spring. I took it out and straightened it out. It's quite a bit more powerful now. And you know, you can knock these pins out here pretty easy if you need to get to work on the valve. And you know, take your valve apart, replace seals on the valve. I had that problem with this gun. After about 3 weeks, the valve blew out on the back. I replaced it with a better O-ring, and it's all good to go now. So putting it back together is very easy. You can just you know, can do it exactly backwards. We'll put this back on because it makes it nice to work on. So we need this spring here. We'll just slide that right back on the rails. Make sure the spring's seated well. And to click it back, we want to push. Oops. Push it till it's locked in. Now you're good. You're done. Put the screw in. Okay. Now, what we want to do next is put the rear action back on. So we want this, make sure this is all good, moving freely, pins are good. Let's do just how we did. Start in reverse, get over the left rail, get the right, left side first, and just kind of push. Snaps back on. And I want to get the spring back in. Very simple. Now this has a small end on one end. Needs to go to the back. Small end goes to the back. But it's easy if you just put it together. Make sure you have the small end to the back. Slide it through the hole on the plastic. Get the spring in place. Use something to kind of push it. You want to make sure that this is pushed back and you've got a little bit of it sticking out right there. That needs to be back all the way and locked in. The smaller end goes into the metal right here. So once that's good, make that stay in place. Make sure that's good. Now you want to put your trigger assembly back. So we're gonna make sure this is lined up. The trigger needs to be forward, to be lined up properly here with the holes, and we need the hammer to be up. So this spring is not sticking down. We want the hammer up. And get this spring on. Pretty easy. Okay, now as we're putting this back on, we need to make sure that this spring ends up in that groove on the bottom of this. It has to be putting a little pressure on this to keep it up. So this spring pushes here. So we're going to hold it at the right angle so that the spring rides up and falls into the groove. So I'm holding the gun this way. Just slide it in. Slide it in. If you can. Get the trigger cleared. Make sure everything's staying in. Make sure your spring looks good down in there. You're going to line up and push on this bar. Give it a little wiggle. Drops down. Now, next step, safety. Back in. Come in on a slight angle. Let it be separated slightly here. Push in, forward, and lock it back in. Make sure it's, whether it's on safety or not, just make sure it's locked in properly. Push it down. You're good. Now, we're going to squeeze to hold this tight. We want to slip this piece in. This spring needs to go forward to the front of the gun. And we just make sure that spring stays in good shape. Push that down. It can be a little tricky. You might need to take something and give it a little help here. A little help. Push forward a little bit on the other end so that it can drop down into place where it needs to be. And there it goes. It's in place. This spring needs to go this direction. I guess it could go either way, but the proper way. Kind of slip it into place. Kind of tricky. Get it in there. Sometimes it helps to wedge something in right here so that that little piece is closer to where it needs to be. And then drop the spring in. That's where you want to be, right there. Now, take your shortest, skinnier, the shorter one. Now this time we got to come in from the left side. So, and we want to make sure this stuff's lining up. So we got to kind of hold it tight, get this lined up, and work this pin in all at the same time. So, might be a little bit, take your little patience, just be patient, put the spring down, make sure the spring's in the proper position, and we're all set. Do that a couple taps. Now, from the left side, and put these back. And you're done. Make sure they're pretty well flush, even on both sides. I want them to be sunk in just a little bit. You know, check the other side, tap them back a hair if you want. That looks pretty good. Alright, we're good to go. That's it. If I fixed it right, everything will work. If everything doesn't work, take it back apart. So, that's it. It's an awesome gun. The end.